Hello, credit union community. Welcome. I am Joshua Barclay, host of Grow Your Credit Union. And today we are going to talk about a challenge that I hear a lot on the show, and it's about governance, risk, and compliance. And credit unions are having a little trouble with this, particularly when it comes to heightened regulations. So today on the show, I have Toni Meyer. She is the Director of Product Management at SBS CyberSecurity. Toni, let's kick things off. First and foremost, when it comes to GRC, what are the big challenges you see that credit unions are having right now?
I think one thing that we hear a lot from our customers is, with some of our credit union customers, their employees wear many hats. And so just being able to, keep up with the ever-changing landscape of governance, risk, and compliance, as you say, being able to keep up with the information security risks that we all face, that's a big challenge. Making sure that they understand the changing landscape, from say a vendor management perspective, that's always a hot topic with our credit union customers, making sure that they're always exam ready, and they know where their organization sits as far as where their vendor management program lies.
You mentioned exam ready, and that that is one of the things I'm hearing a lot about is people are kind of last minute rustling together spreadsheets and things of that nature. So talk to me a little bit about how they're preparing for examinations now with the solutions that are available to them.
Yeah, so TRAC, we provide a great solution for credit unions to be able to capture all that information and really manage it throughout the year so that they are always in a position where they're exam ready. When it comes to our IT module, vendor management, we have a whole host of modules that really help credit unions prepare for that. So they can track their information, they can manage it right within the solution, organize it in TRAC, report on it. So be able to provide board reports and kind of show that status of where they're at in terms of their exams.
So if I'm a small credit union with a small team and I have the TRAC platform, talk to me about sort of how that would look for me on a day to day. What if I don't really know a ton about how to gather this information? What kind of expertise do you bring with the platform?
Yep, that's a great question. And that is the situation that a lot of our credit unions are in. Somebody is given this role and they don't necessarily have the background. And I think that's overwhelming for a lot of institutions, a lot of credit unions. The one thing that TRAC does is it really walks you through gathering that information, housing it within TRAC, really helps you identify those risk scores that are relevant for your credit union. It organizes it all in one place. And so it helps someone who maybe doesn't have that experience, doesn't have that background, or someone who does, someone who's been in the information security role for a long time, helps you organize everything into one place. All your different programs where there is that information security risk component, TRAC really helps you manage that in one place. Um, I always like to reference, we do NPS. We have great NPS scores when it comes to TRAC. We have a lot of our credit union customers that say, I don't know how I survived before I had TRAC. So it just gives the peace of mind knowing that as the landscape is changing when it comes to risk, TRAC does help you organize all that, helps you prepare, and make sure that your credit union is in a good place.
What about the ever evolving landscape? I mean, you kind of mentioned it. You have current credit union customers, because I know a lot of credit union people are going to say, our world is very specific. Our regulations are very specific. We are arguably one of the most regulated industries in the world, and maybe in the universe. We don't know. So talk to me about TRAC in terms of you do understand credit unions, and TRAC does understand what is required from an examination standpoint, correct?
Correct. We have a great team of consultants who work on a daily basis with our credit union customers. They have a very close relationship. They feed all that information back to us. The product team that I'm leading, we have conversations regularly with our credit union customers. We know the landscape as it relates to NCUA, their requirements. We have an ASET module built into to TRAC. So that really, helps our credit union customers track where they're at from a risk assessment standpoint. And we modify that. We keep that content up to date as NCUA rolls out new changes. So that's always updated. We do make sure that we're, supporting our credit union customers. We want to make sure that they know that the TRAC is a solution built for them to help them keep up with those ever-changing regulations.
Okay, Toni. So the track platform, it does a lot of things. It is very much like a Swiss Army knife. So I have to ask you, is there anything else that you want to talk about in terms of track that maybe we haven't discussed thus far?
Sure. I think, just the depth and the breadth of TRAC is really why it's such an important tool. We have 15 different modules that our customers can elect to purchase from SBS. And we're growing that. We're launching new modules every day. So as the landscape changes, TRAC is going to expand. It's going to grow with the credit unions and provide the tools they need to manage their information security program.
Toni, thank you for joining us today. If you want to learn more about the TRAC product or you want to learn more about SBS cybersecurity as a whole, head on over to sbscyber.com to learn more. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Take care and bye-bye.